Remember this tweet from back in November? Donald Trump tweeted out, "In addition to winning the Electoral College in a landslide, I won the popular vote if you deduct the millions of people who voted illegally." Many people had a laugh at him, saying, "You're crazy, you're stoking conspiracy theorists." Well, it turns out that there might be some truth to his claims. We'll take a look at the article a little bit, but first, I wanted to show you these two maps. This first graph shows a map of the United States and which states have the loosest voter restriction laws. And this other map shows the states that were won by Democrats in blue and Republicans in red. The states in white represent states that have no documentation required in order to vote. And as you can tell by the other graph, almost all of those states that were white in the first graph are blue in the second graph. Although this isn't direct evidence, this is something to keep in mind next time somebody on CNN or MSNBC or any other mainstream media outlet tells you that illegal immigrants are not able to vote. They say that. And I would bring out the clip. I've brought it up a million times, but I've brought it up in like 4 different videos. Obama encouraged people, illegal citizens, to go out and vote. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Here it is anyway.
Try to discourage you from voting. If you want to vote and you show up at your polling place, they can't stop you from voting. They can't stop you from voting.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true.
Okay.
And the reason is, first of all, when you vote, you are a citizen yourself, and there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over.
A couple of weeks after the 2016 election, President-elect Donald Trump tweeted this: "In addition to winning the Electoral College in a landslide, I won the popular vote if you deduct the millions of people who voted illegally." The mainstream media scoffed and immediately set out to disprove his claim. And of course, the MSM also galloped off to cover 2016 loser Jill Stein's effort to get a recount for Hillary Clinton, who had taken to her bed piled with cash to weep in solitude. Trump wrongly tells congressional leaders that millions of illegals cost him the popular vote, said the Los Angeles Times. And there is one fact for the header. Trump lost the popular vote by 2.8 million, according to Dave Leip's Atlas of U.S. presidential elections. Fast forward to today. The MSM is still trying to derail Trump on everything he does. But a new report has come out that shows Trump may as well have been right in his claim. JustFacts.com, an independent think tank, did some serious number crunching on immigration to the U.S. and said this about the 2008 election. Based on the number of non-citizens in this poll, the margin of sampling error for their self-declared voting is 5 percentage points with at least 95% confidence. The number of non-citizens in this poll who were in the database, the margin of sampling error for their undeclared voting is 8 percentage points with at least 95% confidence. These study results and Census Bureau population estimates 594,000 to 5.7 million non-citizens voted illegally in the 2008 election. Thus, if that many illegals voted in 2008 up to 5.7 million, then it's perfectly reasonable to think that as many, if not more, voted in the 2016 election. JustFacts said that in 2012, 3.2 to 5.6 million non-citizens were registered to vote, and 1.2 million to 3.6 million of them cast ballots. Remember, Trump lost the popular vote by 2.8 million. Another thing to keep in mind is there is very likely an increase of illegal immigrants from 2008 to 2016, so it isn't a stretch in the imagination, at least in my opinion, to conclude that Donald Trump was right. He perhaps legally won the popular vote. I'm all for an audit, a voting audit. Let's go through and see what it really looked like, because to me there is a lot of questionable content there. Plus, if Russia hacked the election, shouldn't we look into it, right? But it only matters if we're trying to investigate Trump, not if we're trying to look for illegal voter activity. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and hit me up on Twitter if that's your thing. There's also a Discord now, which is a bit like the Wild West. So if that's your thing, brace yourself. But I'll see you all later.